Picture this, a world where personal growth and development becomes a catalyst for 7-figure success in your business. Now, stop picturing and start believing, because I'm going to share with you how to make this a reality in your life. So today, together, we're going to break free from scarcity. We're going to embrace, give it a warm hug, the calculated risk-taking, and last and certainly not least, I'm going to share with you the wonderful benefits of the return on investment that you can achieve. What is the importance of investing in personal growth? You might be that business person, right? In which you might be thinking to yourself, man, I got things to work on in accounting. I got things to work on with this automation. I got a copywriting thing I have to write. I have some ads I have to do. I have to work with my team member. I got to train someone. I got to hire someone. I got so much things to do in my business, Juan. I need to focus on business development, but not personal development. Well, my friend, I used to think the same way, but then it hit me. You cannot have business development without personal development. So I want to share with you why personal development is so important. The first thing you need to do with personal development is know yourself. Like Shakespeare said, to thy own self be true. So how can you truly develop yourself if you don't know yourself? What do I mean by that? Personality. Have you ever taken a personality test? It's important to take several, not just one, because I don't think one is just the end-all be-all. So you want to take several different personality tests. There's many out there. I've taken a lot to truly know myself so I can see my strengths, my weaknesses, my likes, my dislikes, and so forth. So then once you see your personality on paper in black and white, and you can pinpoint the negative qualities in your personality, then you can do something about it that's constructive, hence the term personal development. You can develop those weak areas so that way it can be a strength. So it won't have to be a dichotomy, because I used to think to myself, oh, I'm just good at this, but not so good at that. Oh yeah, you know, I'm a workhorse, but I'm not a social butterfly. I used to always think in dichotomy. But guess what, my friend? You can have them both. You could be a workhorse if you choose to, and you can have fun while you're doing it with others. You can be that social butterfly as well. And so that's the importance of truly taking the personality test. So let me just share with you one of the personality tests that I've taken and share with you the importance of why personal development was key in business results. So one of the personality tests that I've taken, and I recommend you to take as well, is the DISC profile. D-I-S-C. The D is for either dominant or direct. That's a person who's task-oriented and a person who's fast-paced. They like to work like this, and they're all about making sure things get done. I is the person who's influential. This is a person who's fast-paced as well, but their focus is not so much on tasks, but people. These are the people that are influencers, right? That's the I. Okay. Then the next is the S. The S, I've heard people say is the steady, or a person who's, I don't remember the other ones. But pretty much this is a person who's slow paced, but people focused. And then last, you have the person who's the C. This is the person who's conscientious, right? This is the person who, or calculated. This is the person who's slow paced, but task oriented. Okay. Now, my personality, I'm the D. I'm the dominant personality, direct personality. I give it to you straight. No fluff, no pleasantries, no, hey, how's it going? How's the wife? How's the kids? Straight, where's the report? Okay, so the sales numbers are low. What's going on? No, you were taught about this. Why didn't you do this? Very direct, straight to the point. Not necessarily focused on people, task oriented. And I just thought, well, that's just me. But then I realized it was having negative effects in my business, and here's why. Being that I was so focused on tasks and being fast paced, I would neglect the needs of my team. And I would be very direct to the point it was abrasive, to the point many people perceive it as being very abrasive and harsh. And I realized that I couldn't keep an A player on my team, meaning an all-star, a top performer on my team, simply because I didn't have the personal development in my personal life to be able to deliver the message, but not as direct and strong as a hard blow. And I realized as well, it is important in sales to be direct, but you gotta polish those rough edges so that your directness doesn't come off as blunt, okay? Because that can turn off a prospect as well. And so I realized that as a result of my personality, just the D, being dominant, fast-paced and task-oriented, when it came to people, didn't produce beneficial results for me. And at first, what I would do is point the finger at them, right? Because that's the easiest thing to do, to blame other people and outside circumstances for your failures in life. But I realized I need to take accountability, because I cannot control outside circumstances or other people, but what I can control is me. I may not be able to help improve them to the rate that I want them to improve, but I can improve myself at the rate that I want to. So once I start becoming a proponent of personal development, I then decided to, okay, once I work on this aspect of my personal life, then maybe it will have a trickle-down effect to my business life. It worked well for my family, my friends as well. So if I'm nice and kind and patient now in my personal life with my personality, I will be the same way in my business life, especially with my team members, with my prospects and so forth. And it was just amazing. And I highly recommend, if you haven't done it already, take a personality test. And here's a few that I recommend. Take a DISC personality test, take the 16 personality test, and take the Enneagram. There's more, but I'm just sharing with you those three. And when you take them, take an overview of everything that relates to you. And you might say, well, I don't agree with that. Oh man, oh snap, that's so true. Oh man, that is me. And just look at the things that are weak, so that way you can focus on growing in those arenas. Now I get it. So let's say you want to discover who you are, right? And then you see the negative qualities about yourself. The next thing you need to do is have a mind shift. And that's difficult for some, because some people don't like change. But guess what? Change is inevitable. And if you truly want to become a better you, if you want to perform better in your business, or even have just better personal relationships, it's all dependent upon your ability to change. And so you need to shift your mindset for thinking that change is a bad or scary thing. Don't get me wrong, changing who you are, acquiring additional skill sets, is tough. It's scary, but it must be done if you want to see better results in your life. You have to make the change. And so you might be thinking, well, how do I make that change? I don't really know how I can shift my mind to becoming that better person I want to be. Because similar to you're saying, Juan Pablo, if you're direct and straight to the point, is blunt and abrasive, well, how do I shift my mind to really becoming kind and empathetic towards people's needs and focusing more on people and not just tasks, or slowing things down even though you like to be fast paced? How do you shift your mind in that regard? You got to get some resources. One of the books I recommend is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, because oftentimes through our childhood, through our upbringing, or parents, or what have you, our environment, it tends to shape or mold who we are. And being that we're growing up as a child, we tend to create coping mechanisms, and those coping mechanisms may not be true, but we believe them as true, and we just tuck it away, we file it away in our subconscious mind, and we just let it run on autopilot. It's just kind of like having your cell phone, for instance, and you have to realize, like, why does my battery just keep dying? I just charged this thing up, within an hour it's dead. What the heck? Don't tell her I said this is happening with my wife, right? Her phone, it's like her battery just keeps dying. And I'm like, why the heck your battery just keep dying? Like, we're on a road trip, you gotta keep asking me to borrow my charger, and I gotta be nice about it, because you know how I am, very direct, and I'm like, well, what's the problem here? And so I realized when I got her phone one time, she had about 50 different applications up, all just running on autopilot in the background, to the point it was draining her battery, and she constantly had to get charged up. Couldn't last for long. So similarly, I realized I had a short fuse, and it's only because I had a short fuse is because I had all these other applications running at the same time that weren't beneficial. And so what you have to do is you have to take a look at all these different applications or file folders or files that you have in your subconscious that are just running without you even thinking about it. And if you have a file that's running that isn't producing the results that you want, you can turn it off. You don't have to continue to let it play. And so I had to really face that music and say, oh wow, there's actually solutions out here, and I can change. You can be task focused, you can be a top performer in your company, and you can also help people as well. Or you can be fast paced, on the go, but hey, you can slow down when the situation calls for it too. You can be rich and be generous. Most people think this is the economy between those two, such as the term filthy rich. Being rich has a negative connotation to it, to the point where, okay, well, I'm not filthy, I'm righteous, so that means I can't get rich. Or to think, oh, well, to be rich, you gotta exploit your employees. And so being that I love my team, I'm very friendly and encouraging towards my team, our company can't be rich, because then at that point, if I try to increase our income, that means I have to exploit them. No, you can have it all. You can be rich and righteous. You can be rich and generous. Abundance mindset. So you gotta be able, first and foremost, is to shift that mindset by taking a deep dive and seeing who you are. So let's say you did the personality test, shifted your mindset on certain things, and now it comes to the point where you have to take a risk, right? And it shared before, it could be scary, okay? The thing is, you wanna make sure that it's a calculated risk. So I'm talking to business owners here. So let's say that you realize that your income has been set at a certain level is because, more than likely, you haven't done anything different. You keep doing the same old thing. Now, if you truly wanna break through and get to that next level, you gotta take some calculated risks. And so after you took a look at your personality test and you did a mind shift, you now have to say, okay, what is really preventing me from getting to that next level? And I hear this a lot. We have a lot of clients. This is one of my companies, 1% Finance. So we have a lot of clients in which they want to do real estate investing. They tend to get scared. And why? It's all in their subconscious mind. Because we share with them, hey, here's your investment capital. Here's the deal that meets the criteria. Is everything you wanted? Let's take action. Or even, hey, is everything you wanted? Sure, it might not be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect deal out there. But hey, we should definitely move forward. They'll try to find a reason not to do it. They'll either do A, analysis paralysis. Let me try to analyze every single thing about this property to the point another person beats them to the punch and then gets the deal in the contract. And they use analysis paralysis as a guise to mask the fear that they have. Or they'll try to pinpoint every little thing that's wrong, got the inspection list. Oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this must be a bad deal. No, the truth is you're scared. You have fear. It's because you've been brought up in the school system or you worked as an employee your whole life and you're pretty much trained or groomed from the womb to always play it safe, to always do what you're told, to have every single piece of available information at your disposal first and foremost before you take action. Or you have to make sure that you do everything perfect, because if you mess up and you get that red marker on your test paper and you got these wrong, you're a failure. But just keep in mind, that's not how business works. Oftentimes when you go into business, it's difficult and challenging to have all available information. But like Colin Powell says, he said in the military, as long as you have about 70% of the information, that's enough to take action. And so what you have to do is, going back to the mind shift, you do have to switch gears to really start taking action. Now, if you're having a hard time, I would say, with taking action. So if you find yourself that, you know what, I gotta be true to myself. When there was another opportunity here, I turned it down because I said it was because of that. These outside circumstances of other people is me. Perhaps I'm self-sabotaging my own success. But what should you do about that? You gotta seek help, right? You gotta be able to, like I shared, use one of those resources, breaking the habit of being yourself and actually do the exercises. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, he talks about the power of the subconscious mind. He also talks about persistence. He talks several different principles that will help you to become successful, and the common traits that successful people have. Be a nerd, study all the stuff that relates to your subconscious mind and get the negative stuff, those weeds out. And last and certainly not least, see a hypnotherapist, right? And let me share with you how I came across a hypnotherapist. As I shared before, when I used to kind of just be short-tempered or frustrated for my team, because again, I'm fast-paced and task-oriented, when things didn't go wrong or they're being too slow, it just make my blood boil. And I was sharing this with my recruiter, and she said, oh yeah, I used to think the same way. And I looked at her crazy like, that Russell Westbrook face, like, what? I was like, you're the most kind-hearted, soft, loving, generous, sweet, empathetic, patient people I know. She's my recruiter. She helps me find talent for my team. And she's like, yeah, I'm that way now, but I wasn't a few years back. Well, if you would have met me a few years back, JP, it would have been a different story. And I said, really? And she said, yeah. I said, so what did you do? It's hard to believe. And she said, hey, I've been reaching out to a hypnotherapist. I've done a few sessions in the past, and it really helped me become a better me. It helped me deal with the negative qualities I had within my personality. So I said, well, it sounds kind of spooky. I never heard of no hypnotherapist. What do you mean? Like they're gonna do like hypnosis on me? They're gonna put me under? They're gonna have me like snap a finger and me be something? That's what I thought. She actually helped me find a person. So I checked them out. I did about 3 sessions. And I realized that, oh man, why am I angry about this? Or oh man, why am I having fear about this? It's an illusion. I need to move forward and take action. As long as it's calculated, I can do it. So basically, you want to be able to take a calculated risk, and if you need help, find another resource and really look within yourself to see, well, why is it that you're not able to move forward with this? Now let's get into the ROI. So once I took this calculated risk and I started to get some assistance through reading books or speaking with therapists and so forth, I might have spent, let's say for the hypnotherapist, I spent $600 in total for 3 sessions, okay? And it really helped me a lot. It helped me resolve a lot of traumatic things that I experienced in my childhood. And you might have been through the same thing. Or you might have experienced these things but never really thought about it consciously. Again, it's just like the phone. We talked about the apps just running in the background, but it's draining your battery. It's really making you less productive. It's preventing you from being the best person that you could be, right? The best version of yourself. And I remember shortly after spending that $600 and my demeanor changed with my team. You know, it's still a work in progress, don't get me wrong, but it was definitely like not as abrasive or direct that I used to be. And I remember shortly after those sessions, our team received $70,000 in a 2-week span. Just like that, my sales team. And why is that? I can't take all the credit. I would love to, right? But I have to share that, of course, they definitely stepped up and did some things, but I think it was just the way I treated them is what made a huge impact, because I put that mirror up. And once I took a look at myself and said, man, if I'm on top of them and being direct and angry and frustrating and being domineering and abrasive and blunt towards them, they can be fearful of making a mistake. And as a result of being fearful of making a mistake, and it's because of me being so abrasive towards them, they were hesitant and scared to actually perform. And so, hey, I'll just play it safe and not take any calculated risk. But once I became more encouraging, more patient, trying to work with them, they start gaining the boldness to take action on calculated risk, and it worked out in our favor. So one of the things I've done that you could potentially do as well is just explore many different personal development activities and opportunities out there, okay? You might say, okay, Juan Pablo, what are some of the ones that you've explored that help you become a better version of yourself? I'm not saying I'm the best, I'm definitely a far shot from that, but I'm not the man who I used to be. Well, one of the things I've done is, as you can see here, build a library. Get yourself several books that relates to personal development. So if you realize after you take the personality test, you realize that, okay, I need to focus on kindness. Whatever the qualities that you realize that you definitely need to incorporate into your personal life, be a nerd. Written books, but of course, audible books. And what I'm gonna do is fully immerse myself in the area that I need personal development in. Okay, so that's reading, that's listening, because anything you put in your eye gate, books, and anything you put in your ear gate, listen to the audios, right, will have a huge impact on your success. Okay, so other things you can do is share, network with other people. You can get professional help, or you can also reach out to people who are really great in that arena. You know, let's say if you're a person who's short-tempered and there's a person in your life, whether business or personal, in which they're very patient, pick their brain, spend a lot of time with them, and just to see how they think, so you can incorporate those things into your life. Also, breaking the habit of being yourself. Take courses or read other books that relate, or even attend conferences that relate to that personal development, the area that you need. Now, I know I talked a lot about personal development in regard to becoming a better person, but it could be other things that you might need as well, such as time management, organizational skills, just whatever it is, just follow that same approach. What are some strategies in regard to balancing investment and risk? Because oftentimes you're not able to get to that next level in your business or even your real estate portfolio. It's because you have a hard time balancing those two. You want more investments, you want to be able to grow your wealth. However, it's just the risk aspect that may hold some of you back, right? Not all of you. And that happened with me as well, where at one part of my mind, I wanted to have a huge portfolio, but another part of my mind is like, well, hold on, is this risky? Are you sure you want to do this? I highly recommend a mentor. So one of the things I've always done and continue to do, if I'm ever struggling with something, I always try to look in within to see what I can do to fix it. First and foremost, instead of blaming outside people or circumstances, I look within. And then after I look within and realize, okay, this is what I really need to work on in myself where personal development is concerned. Or this handsome guy over here, this Latino fellow over here, what book can I obtain and what person can I reach out to? So now you gain powerful knowledge on how something as simple as personal development can help pave the way to you earning 7 figures per year in income in your business and or your investments. But knowledge isn't enough. It's time for you to actually take action so you can get the results you want. So what I would like you to do is just check the link below and schedule a call so we can do a quick 15-minute or so consultation to see how we can help you get to that next level. As always, guys, it's to your success. So continue to earn passively, live passionately, and make that massive income so you can convert that to passive income. As always, guys, take care. Peace.